Good afternoon, Facebook. I'm just going to let the traffic build for 1 second. This is Gerry. I'm coming to you live from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. I have a special effect on, and I might take it off, but anyway, it's on there. Hey, Claudia. We're coming to you today from Costa Rica. I'll tell you a little tiny bit about Rythmia. Rythmia is a life advancement center in Costa Rica that works with sacred plant medicines, and these medicines assist you in something that we believe, which is a reuniting of the soul. So we believe that something happens to you from the time you're conceived to about 5 years old, and there's a split. You're within your aura, but you leave your soul to become someone else out of safety, and then that split sort of plagues us for the rest of our lives. Although it's done by design, it plagues us for the rest of our life, and all disease, addiction, sadness comes out of that split. And what these sacred plant medicines do is they put you back within your soul. So it's a remerging, and that we say is a miracle, and the miracle of remerging your soul, and we get a lot of that every year. So every week. So like this week we have 83 or 84 people, and this coming week as well. We've been full for the better part of this year, and we continue to be full because this thing is taking off, and this remerging that happens is super, super important, and it's changing lives. Now, what's a little different with us and everybody else is that we track how many people this happens to. So when you come to Rythmia and you check in and you go through this program, and I'm going to tell you, it's a very hard thing. It's not easy. You go through this program and you check out, you're given an exit survey, and in that survey it says, did this thing happen to you? Did you have this remerger? Did you have this miracle? And about 953 out of 1,000 people say yes. This is what's so crazy about this place. So it's a combination of the plant medicine, the workshops, the breath work, this transformational breath work that we do in conjunction with the medicine, the farm-to-table organic food, the colonics, the cleanses, and the vibration of the place. There's been so much healing at this place, and the medicine runs so deep throughout the place that it has its own energy, and the energy is one of transformation. I want to just say that somebody said my teeth are shimmering. LOL. Okay, good. I like that my teeth are shimmering. I just saw that. That's kind of what like an ayahuasca journey can look like. I think I'm going to get that off though. Hang on a second. That's better. Okay, good. So hi from Finland. Hi, my Finland crew. Thank you. So what I like to do is I like to talk about this transformation. And in my own life, I was a real terrible guy. I was a very sad, almost demonic, drug addicted, alcoholic, sex addicted, wife beating, terrible fucking person. I was terrible, and I bear my soul every week with this thing because it came in, and this medicine saved my life, and this process saved my life. So every week I get to talk to people who've been touched by the medicine as well, and they're always guests. And usually I'm dealing with people that have never done the medicine before. But today we have a friend with us. Her name is Ajaya, and she's from California, and her story is a little bit different. Can you come over for a second, Ajaya? How are you?
Doing great.
Glad to have you here. So generally speaking, people that come here have never done the medicine before. I want to say one thing before I start on this. I want to say hi to my mom. Hi, Mom. Hi to my wife, Brandy. And if you want to know more about what happened to me, please get this book. It's on Amazon. It's called Shit the Moon Said, and it's a really quick read, but it tells you a lot about journey. So anyway, Ajay comes to us, and most people that come here, about 90% of the people have never done the medicine before, unless they've done it here and they've rebooked. So you come to us in a slightly different way. You've done the medicine about 100 times, mostly in California, some in Hawaii, as I understand.
Yeah, over about 20 years.
Over about 20 years, and that's a lot of time and a lot of medicine. And I want to ask you, did in coming here, were you prepared for what this place was?
I had no idea.
You had no idea.
No, I had no idea.
And tell me what did you think? We're just another center serving ayahuasca? Or?
No, I had a really good feeling. I can say that. I had a number of friends come who've been speakers here.
Okay.
Who spoke really highly of their experience.
And who were your friends, just so I know?
Miranda McPherson.
Miranda McPherson,
and
Dynamite.
Dr. Sue Mortar.
Dr. Sue Mortar, amazing.
And one of my friends came as a guest.
Okay.
Who was with Shauna Shapiro. So
Was with Shauna Shapiro. Okay, great. All good people.
all really good people.
Yeah.
And so ever since I heard about their accounts, I was really curious and I had a real draw to come.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And so this theory that we operate on, which is this theory of soul splitting and or leaving of self and then a retrieval in plant medicine is a very, very, very ancient thing. Most people that are very close to the medicine say that the medicine is trying to do this for us. It's trying to get us to see who we become, to merge us back with our soul and to heal our heart. But it's not spoken of that way.
Right.
So when you heard this, now you told me that in the work that you do, what do you do for a living?
Well, I have kind of an unusual profession.
Okay.
Essentially, that's what I do for people in my own way.
There you go. So
with breath work, with touch, with cranial sacral work, with something called continuum, I developed a body of work called core embodiment, and it's essentially a way of bringing people home to their souls in a very embodied way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So it wasn't when I started this, because the way this thing works, on Monday I have a workshop, and we do the workshop, and hi Brandy, and we do the workshop, and in this workshop I curse a lot, I tell about my story, and I say my soul split, and I tell what happened when we put it back together. So for you, that was kind of old hat. You saw that and you go, I know this drill. This is this, yes?
Yes, and I was really impressed and really moved and touched by that first day and that first talk, how much you opened yourself and how transparent and honest and just, here I am, here's my story. The details that you shared, actually, it was as if I'm very empathic, but it was like I felt everything. And that went with me into the first night, very much so. Yeah.
And so let's just so the thing there and the type of medicine in the past. So a lot of times you guys may or may not know this, but if you go to do medicine, a lot of times if you're in LA or Brooklyn or wherever, you're doing it on someone's couch. There's really not a lot, in many cases, there's not a lot of pre-work to give you a frame of reference to operate within, and a lot of times there's very little aftercare. I'm not saying that this is true of centers. There's beautiful centers throughout the world that are amazing at this stuff, and there's many of them. But I'm just saying, when you're doing it in someone's home, sometimes you can miss the beginning and the end of this thing. So with us, we have designed a whole program, and we've designed a program, and the program has 4 different types of medicine in it. So it's all ayahuasca, but it's from different traditions, prepared in different ways. And so on Monday, so you've done a lot of the Hawaiian medicine, is what I would say, the chakra from Hawaii. And that has its own flavor, and the medicine acts in a particular way.
Right.
What did you think of our Monday night's medicine?
Well, I had done Daime before.
You've done Daime medicine.
And so I kind of knew what to expect. And it was lovely and a beautiful way to begin people who are new because it's so gentle. So I went into it kind of feeling very relaxed and safe, knowing that. I had some reference for all of the medicines that were coming, so I thought that was a really beautiful way to start.
And the way that we stack this medicine, because the medicine is cumulative, so it's kind of interesting. So to me, I always equate it to being on a highway and getting on these ramps. So when we're starting out, we're like in park, and we're going to get on a ramp that's a 15-mile-an-hour highway. And so the first night we get on the Santo Daime. And then the second night we do our own brew, which is all of a sudden you're in a 30-mile-an-hour highway, and it keeps going and going. So what did you think of the medicine? Or what was your experience the first night? Were you here following the program, or were you doing your own work?
I brought some intentions. I did some writing. I did some. It felt like a really beautiful opportunity to have a week in my life, to step out of my life and go do this. Yeah. And I'd never done 4 nights in a row.
You haven't?
And I didn't even think I would do 4 nights in a row. So the first night was perfect. What I was going to say is I brought my own intentions.
Yeah.
But I loved the way that you named the 3 pieces, the 3 basic intentions to bring into it. And I found that I actually attuned to them more. I kind of let go of my list. And so the first night, the intention was around, show me who I've become. And that was a lot of my experience the first night. And plus a beautiful sort of remembrance, definitely a reconnecting with my soul in a sweet way.
And so you had that. Now, the way this works is that Monday in the morning you have a workshop that I do, and then in the afternoon we have a wonderful guest speaker. This week we had Mario Martinez, and that was great. The people loved him, by the way. They really loved him. He had a great response from people. And then hey Robert, so then on Tuesday we have a mix of our own medicine, which is medicine that's brewed here, and then a touch of some other medicine depending on the shaman who's blessing the medicine that night. So Tuesday night is going deeper with Brad, generally what we call it. And what was your experience of Tuesday night?
That was probably, like the darkest night in the sense of just going more into my shadow and like a really necessary and beautiful and important, but hard work.
Yes.
Like it was the hardest night. But so good to feel what I got to feel. And I felt really blessed in that I managed to create this space for myself outside, and I was pretty private. Like a lot of the night I wasn't that. I think that night the person I was next to was really going through it, and so I just kind of took myself to a different spot. But it felt like very old ancestral, early life stuff, past life, just very deep, dark, shadow, hidden material. It felt so good to be in touch with.
Were you scared?
I wasn't scared, but I met my confusion around all the different ways that I had been clever in bypassing really feeling some of the feelings. And so I kept having to drop in and tell myself that it was safe to feel them.
Yep.
And stay with it.
And
I did.
You did?
Yeah,
and that's a good sign.
That's really good.
That's good. And that process that we have here of show me who I become, that can be because you probably haven't seen this many first timers in a session, right? So all these people, generally speaking, have not done the medicine. It's like 90% haven't. So let's say 70 people did not do the medicine. This was their first time. And to see these people go through this, and on the first night, see who they become and connect with it. And then, like, by night 3, and night 3 with us is called, well, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be called feminine, but we call it ladies' night. Ladies drink free after 5 o'clock. No, I'm just kidding. It's ladies' night is Peruvian medicine, and it's really hallucinogenic. It's a super hallucinogenic, strong medicine, and that's the night that we really get, especially the first timers, to reconnect with their soul. So, what did you see on your Wednesday night?
Well, I was sharing with you a little bit earlier about how that was the night where part of what I was setting down was around this sort of in my little child, innocence of my little child self, and this early abandonment wound was about how there was this thrust in my life around wanting to be special. So that was Tuesday night, and once we kind of saw how to that little girl, not being special meant not being loved meant dying. And so that was what I went through. I meant on the dark night. It was like going basically meeting my death. And so the next night I said, okay, if I'm not special, then what do I get to be? And in my consult, very clearly the medicine said you get to be sacred. You get to be a sacred invitation to others, and that's actually really special.
Isn't that amazing? So the medicine said to her, say that again, that gets me. Tell me.
Yeah, so I said, okay, I've come to terms with that this isn't about being special, thank you. And what do I get to be? And the answer was very clearly, you get to be sacred. You are sacred.
And how great is that shit?
You get to be a sacred invitation to everyone that you meet. And that's basically, beautiful. It was basically like, it's that simple.
It's that simple. So the interesting thing is, and in my own life too, I always had this delusion of, I don't know, of never having enough, or never being in charge enough, or a dictator enough, or solely in power enough, and how the medicine switched from that to fucking complete service.
Right.
And the thing with the complete service is, it's that you still have all the things, but you just don't even want to enjoy them. You're getting more joy out of the giving than you ever could get out of the receiving. And it's the crazy thing, because a lot of people get confused with that, and they say, oh my God, no, I want to be able to have all these things. The craziest thing is that the more you surrender, the more these things are given to you, and the less you want to use them, and the more you want to give. Isn't that crazy shit?
It's actually totally sane.
Beautifully.
It's like the real deal.
It's the real thing.
It's the real.
And
it's sacred. That's how the sacred operates.
Yeah. Isn't that the beautiful thing?
Yeah.
And one of the visions, if you don't mind my saying, one of the visions that you saw was you possibly being involved with us too. Is that true or not true?
Well, that night, that was what that night was
That
all
was
about.
Wednesday night.
That was
Okay.
Wednesday night.
I got you. Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So then, let me think. So then the next day is Thursday, and Thursday happens to be, hi Meg Pearson, Thursday happens to be a night that I really enjoy, because it's a traditional night of Colombian music and tradition from the Inga and Siona tribe, and the medicine is called Yahe, and it has its own way, I guess I would say, and I happen to love the medicine, and so give me your Thursday night deal.
So Thursday was interesting. So every night I showed up really delighted to be there, ready to be there. You're staying up late. You're not getting the best sleep, and you're tired. And there's a wisdom to all that. But by Thursday, I was actually really tired, and I felt like I had really come from my miracle, and like I had received
what you got.
Yeah, and so, but I knew I needed to still show up, regardless. And so, but it was the only night I showed up a little nervous. Plus, it had been built up to be this big deal, So
because it starts at 7 and goes to about 9 in the morning.
Right. So it's been a long night.
Yeah.
And I'd sat in ceremony before all-nighters, and I just felt a little trepidatious because I, just past experiences. So what was really beautiful about the Yahe night was I slept.
You slept through the Yahe night?
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
had 3 cups of medicine, and I slept after each one.
Amazing.
I'd drink the medicine, I'd go sit up, I'd pray, I'd be in it, and then I'd lie down and fall asleep. And that was what I needed to do. And then the next day, he spoke about how often what's happening in that situation is you're healing past life stuff, intergenerational trauma stuff.
Yep.
And I can just tell you, I woke up yesterday morning feeling amazing.
I love that.
Something happened. But I didn't need to be consciously privy to.
Well, a lot of times they say from that tradition that if you were awake for it, you would die, because it's so traumatic. What's being fixed, past life stuff. That's why they say that you go back to the whoosh, to the beginning of your thing when you were a color or a sound, and they start there and come this way. So I mean, it's really profound. It must sound friggin' crazy, right? But it's really real, and it's really happening. It's really, really happening, and it happens. So if I were to talk about your miracle is that thing, and I'm going to hang on to it. I have trouble with my medicine memory.
It's that I'm no longer having a need to be special. special.
I love
get
that.
To be the sacred
And you get to
being
be
that
sacred.
I am, and I get to be the sacred invitation.
I
And
love
actually,
that.
that's really special.
It's the most, that is the whole thing.
And you know, I would say that like 85% of me already knows that and knows that.
Right.
But that 15% that wasn't living there was having such a big impact on my experience and my life.
And that's because, like, what I'll call the big deal complex, like you had big things in your life that were going on, right? And to get out of that into the little deal. This is the transition that I went through. Like, I used to love businesses had to be huge, and it had to be and to go from that to a little tiny thing that is heart-centered, that's not financially centered. That's a lot of change, and at the same time, it's the only way to freedom. There's no, at least for me, it was the only way. So the fact that you got that is more huge than any miracle that could be. That is a beautiful, 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 beautiful piece of the thing, right? And so let me ask you this. In those, well, first off, just to talk about the place a little bit, was the physical plant of this place what you expected?
The physical plant?
Yeah, like the rooms, so like, was this what you expected, or did you expect it to be nicer or less than?
I mean, nothing's ever what you expect,
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I had a feeling there would be an ambiance here of real, I want to say, like, royalty, where people are treated in a way that feels really safe, really clean, really clear, really honored. And so I wasn't surprised by just the ambiance of the people here, where they're coming from, where they're being.
What did you think of the staff? They're, like, really?
Everyone just feels very heart-centered and very genuine and fully in.
Yep.
And really grateful to be here and be a part of it.
And I'm glad that we convey that, because it's the most important thing.
It is.
Next to the medicine and the experience, it is the most important thing, that you have to feel this sense of everybody is here to support you. And that's something we work super hard on, and I hope that we hit the mark all the time. I mean, that's what we're shooting for. I want to ask one other thing, that after you saw the whole process, and I say this all the time, if I had befores and afters of the people, it's fucking shocking, isn't it? What happens to these folks? Can you speak to this? They look night and day.
Well, what I was really impressed by is, like you said, most of these people were total first-timer newbies. You could tell a lot of them were kind of, conventional, sort of mainstream.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know everybody's story, but, and so that was a bit of a different crew than I'm used to sitting with.
Right.
And so I was just kind of like, one, impressed by their courage.
Yep.
But almost everybody made it through each.
Yeah,
night,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And to hear some of the stories, today, like I wanted to hear everyone again.
I know.
I just want to hear everyone's story. Yeah. It was just so touching. So, I mean.
To make it sound crazy, too, 73 to 74% of the people have something that's called sacred surgery, where they drink the medicine and then they feel their mouth get numb, and then something asks if they can come in, and usually it's aliens or minions or small silver people, and they actually perform surgery on the people. And to hear these folks that I mean, a week ago would have never, if they heard someone talking like that, they would have left the building, right? And hear them talking like, oh God, and then the spaceship come, but I wouldn't get in it, and all this stuff, and they did surgery on me, and they plugged me into the wall, and all this shit. And the woman in the back had to be in her 70s, and with the accent, the first night she did the medicine, she talked to me and she said, I don't like this. She said it like that. And then she's talking today about the spaceship came to get her, and she's like, no, I don't really want to come in, but you can do surgery on me. And they did the surgery on her, and she's a new person. It's just crazy stuff. It's really real, and it really happens. So I just wanted to say to you, did you get sick? Well, I want to ask one thing. If you're coming here and you think this is going to be easy, you're dead wrong. This is the hardest week of your life if you do it right. Especially first timer, this is the hardest week of your life because the first time that you get to see yourself is a scary, scary event. It's not an easy event. It's the best event you can have for yourself, but it's not easy. So can I just, but from a physical standpoint, do you normally get sick when you do the medicine?
I don't.
You never throw up?
I'd say maybe 4 or 5 times out of 100 I have.
1 out of 25, huh? Did you throw up while you were here?
No.
Did you have diarrhea?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. At least we got something out of you. The funny thing is that I'm going to say 80%. I don't throw up either. When I say I don't throw up, I throw up 1 out of 6 times. But I get diarrhea, something fierce. I remember I was in the bathroom on Thursday night praying to throw up. I was like, please fucking let me throw up. But a lot of people are, especially first timers, are super worried about throwing up. Super worried, and it's so not a big thing.
No.
It's the most freeing, in my opinion. It's the most freeing, cleansing, rebirthing that you could possibly have. So please don't be worried about that. I'd say the biggest fear of coming here is the fear of seeing yourself. That's what we find from talking to most people. A lot of people come here and they're afraid of seeing gore or something that they can't understand or violence. A lot of people would be afraid of seeing violence on the medicine. But when it comes right down to it, they're really afraid that the monster under the bed is them. And that's the thing. This is shadow work. This isn't like Zig Ziglar, go sell, baby, everything's right, the world's perfect. This is what is in me, in my darkness, that's driving my life, that I don't see and I don't even understand. Let's get that shit out in the open. Let's put some light on that, and let's come to love it, because that's the shit. That's when you see who you become, you have this amazing compassion for you and all of your brokenness and your sadness and your mistakes and the shit that you did wrong and how you hurt yourself and others. All of a sudden there's this compassion, and that compassion is what creates this remerging. It's not perfection. It's not has nothing to do with perfection. It has to do with you being you and you saying okay to this beautiful piece of meat-suited machinery that you are. And I tell you, it gets so crazy about when you see what a complicated instrument you are. You're this amazing piece of a trillion pieces put together that is this godlike thing. And when you start bringing that into your life, then all of a sudden everything looks different. And that's what we're shooting for here. That's what we're trying to do. I see some questions, and I want to try to get to them. Hi, Charlie. On so many medications that I would welcome diarrhea. I bet. How often do I do the medicine? I do the medicine about once a week or once every 2 weeks. And I'm trying to. I saw Sven. Is Sven here? I had one of your friends here, Sven, that you sent me from Switzerland, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I hope you had a great time. Let's see about questions. Look forward to your Adam, you're coming back. Great to see you. Just a kind of crazy. It's as real as it gets. Let's just see. Charlie. Rachel's been here before. Would you suggest taking a surf trip and come? Well, here's the thing. There are people, and I'm going to tell you what, at night in the Maloka, you can hear the ocean, the waves of the ocean. There are people that come here for a week and never get there. Have you been to the ocean this week?
Yes,
you did? Well, you're an old hand, though. I'm going to bet you that there's 70 out of the 80 some that didn't even get to the ocean this week. So sometimes it's a lot, because I want to talk about this. So you did 4 nights of medicine and then 2 nights of breath work. And you're a breath work person. You have taken transformational breath work classes.
It's part of what I do with people. Yeah.
It's part of what you do. So the combination of medicine and breath work is wild, right?
No, it's perfect.
Yeah, wild in a good way. Wild in a good way.
Yeah.
So I would say not to take a surf trip. The thing is, because I don't want to see you pay for something and have expectations of using it, and then
they're saying before or after.
Before or after,
Yeah.
Perfect. I would even think after myself,
Yeah.
but I don't know, because I'm not a surfer, and I'm not. Yeah, let's see. Let me go to. Is the medicine something you can do on a regular basis? I would say yes, but you'll never do it. Like, most people do not do the medicine on a regular basis because it is hard. There are people who turn their lives into doing the medicine, but it's very rare. Most of our folks do the medicine the week that they're here, and 60% of them never do it again. They do it, it sets them on their course, and they're good. Some people end up coming back a lot, and other people choose to pick a life that involves the medicine. So that's all over the place.
Something about the subconscious.
Yeah, Adam, has the medicine brought up events in your subconscious that you weren't aware of? Yeah, in my life, it sure did. I was molested at 3 years old, and I got to watch it in a video. Got to watch it in a video. When I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, this happened to me. And most people see things that were in there, that were back there, that are brought up. But really what we see is we see how we are in the world. And not so much what made us. My mother filled my mouth with soap and smacked me. My mother didn't. Mom, you would never do that, I know. But somebody might say, oh, my mother did this to me, and da-da-da-da-da. That's the cause. What was the effect? Well, the effect is I don't trust people. Or the effect is I turn everybody away. And this is the realization. This is the great thing about the medicine.
Feels like it's a lot about the horizontal, being in right relationship with the
With
horizontal plane, like with your family, with your people, with your life, with the world, with your what your work is in the world, with your livelihood. All of it's about integrity, being in truth.
To that point, have you seen the grid when it shifts like this? When you see the grid goes like this, and then it shifts, and the holes go over the people. Did you ever see that out there?
No.
And so, like, I see it all, this one particular thing where it looks like a fly screen, and then it shifts, and what you just said is the holes go over you, and now you're connected with everybody else. So this plane of being here and having all these relationships right is that thing that you're talking about, and super, super, super important. That's one that I get to see recurringly. If you've reconnected with your soul, why do you continue to drink it? Here's why. I continue to drink it, number one, because I'm here, and it's my job. Number two, because I love going with a group and seeing this thing happen to people right next to me. Like, I had great joy this week with the 2 people I was laying next to get to see that. The second thing is, I want to go deeper. I always want to go deeper. I want to know more about myself, how to be better, how to do this, because I've given my life to this thing. You don't have to. Like, the thing that I don't mean that in like, oh, I've done this holy thing. I don't mean that at all. I mean, this is what my life is, so that's why I keep doing it. Let me just see what else. Is it safe to do with a facilitator, not a shaman, if that's your first time? Well, look at this term, shaman. It can mean so many different things. I know shaman who've never served any medicine. I know people who are shaman, they don't know they're a shaman. I know people that have served medicine 1,000 times that aren't a shaman. So let's take the shaman part out, and let's just say a loving medicine facilitator. I would not do this without I've done the medicine a couple hundred times. I would never, ever, ever do it without a loving medicine provider. To me, I know people who drink alone all the time. I would never. I see people on the internet. I see people on the internet that say, you know, I bought chacruna from chacruna.com, and I got this component from this place, and I'm cooking it tonight, and I'm going to drink it. And I thought, what kind of crazy must that be like? The insanity of doing that. So I highly say probably not the right way to go with that one.
I had a horrible time the one time I did.
Did you do it alone?
Yeah, horrible.
Horrible, right? Yeah, it fixes a lot. Sorry about this, but it fixes a lot of people. Okay, so Billy says, does it make a difference in what age you should be to take it? Okay, so here's the thing. We happen to have a medical license in Costa Rica as a medical center. We cannot take people under 18 years old because we have a drug and alcohol license. Certain places, I'm going to tell you, a lot of the folks in Colombia start serving the medicine to kids at 6 years old. That's when it starts. A lot of times, the person who I've met who had the ability to drink 7 nights in a row, and back when we used to serve medicine 7 nights in a row, was 84 years old. She was tiny and strong as a bull, and she outdrank me. I only drank 2 nights, and I watched her drink, and I thought, I'm going home, because this lady drank so much. So it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what age you are, so don't worry about that. I feel a strong calling to go deeper, but wonder if that's my ego wanting more, or me wanting to explain my intense journeys, or it's really my heart speaking truth. Jamie, this is what I'd say. That the next time you're on medicine, ask the medicine. Where's this coming from? Is this my ego? Is this my higher self? And it will tell you. At least it's been my experience, it will tell you. Okay, guys, Matt, do you have new experience each time you use the medicine? I get caught in a little bit of a loop with the medicine from time to time. And usually my loops go 20 times. So I'm a looper. Like I get caught in a particular thing. I'm in one now that looks the same a lot. I fractal out, and then I get into a position where I don't know who I am. I lose my shit, and then I come back and I'm reborn, like is my normal thing. But that only lasts another 20 times. So it's always different. It's always different. But listen, one thing I want to tell you. First off, Ajaya, thank you so much for coming, welcome. And thank you for being a part of this.
Oh my God, thank you
and
so
we,
much
we loved having you here. We really loved having you here.
Really, my honor.
I see your heart's there.
So
your heart's in it.
Yeah.
And so that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you're thinking about booking down here, the sooner you do it, the better, because we turn away people now almost every week. This number, 866-936-9446. Call that number anytime, and there's people standing by to help you understand and what to eat and when to book. We're coming up into the green season, which is the most beautiful season. People call it the rainy season. I call it the green season because it's brown right now. It looks like the outback in Australia, or a little bit like the Serengeti in dry season, and it's going to turn super green, and it gets beautifully green. It's my favorite season, but please book now, because the more people that hear about this, the more people that come, and we only have like 82 spots a week. So please call in and come. And about, can it affect you if you take other medication? Yeah. Call one of call this number, and they'll give you the list of medications, what needs to be tapered off, what doesn't, what to eat. There's a dieta or a diet that, and there's different levels of the diet depending on how strict you are and how strict you can be. I'm not good at keeping my dieta. I'm not. Pizza finds its way into my dieta, so it's not the right thing. But anyway, please come, please call, and I really look forward to seeing you. And I want, my greatest joy is seeing what happens to these people every week. I have the greatest job in the world. So I want to thank you guys,
Can I just say
Thank you.
one more
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that I
yeah.
think we didn't
Sure.
say, is that it feels so safe here, and that is the
Tell me.
most important thing for this medicine, that people really feel safe. Having a whole week container and just having all of the support, the colonics, the food, the massages, the pool, the community,
Uh-huh.
being on this land, the way that you hold the space, the way everyone, you know, that to me is the most important part, is the environment.
Uh-huh.
That's a huge part of what allows people to go so deep.
And you felt safe too, like having the doctors and all that? Did that make you feel
part
safe
too,
too?
that part
Uh-huh.
too,
Because
absolutely.
it's the whole
It's the
thing,
whole
right?
thing.
Well, listen, thank you so much, love, for
Thank
being here. I'm
you.
so glad I got
So-
to meet you.
Yay.
You're so sweet.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Please do me a favor. Please share this thing. Please take a minute and share this, because we want everybody to know that there really is a place you can go that's safe, that gets the job done. Thank you so much, and we love you guys. See you next week.
Mhm.